Yes, sir.
Y'all take it easy, brother. Y'all stay
What's
safe,
up,
man.
everybody? This is your man, DJ Square, now from the DJ Information Group. And we got that one, the only, the man. Yo, that hip hop, man. That hip hop icon. Yo, my man Tracey Lee is in the house, man. What's up, man?
All is well, man. All is well, man. I hope y'all being safe out here and just doing the things that we gotta do, and protecting your family and your close and your loved ones and all that good stuff. Cause that's what we're doing over here, man. We just maintaining, man. How you doing?
All is well, man. And we want to welcome you to the DJ Information Group, man. The DJ Information Group, we've been talking about you, and we are just excited to have you here, man. And
pleasure's mine, brother.
Just to tell you a little bit about the DJ Information Group. The DJ Information Group, what we do is we're comprised of DJs, artists, producers, engineers, and promoters. And what we do is our goal is to teach, to learn, to share and uplift, up in the culture. Thanks. You know what I'm saying, and stay Absolutely. And really dig back into the history of everything about the culture. So
Absolutely.
Most definitely, we love to have guests on and people that have had a real impact on that. Hey, you can't go, when you hear that song, man, you'll hear your jam, man. You can't do nothing but bounce. You can't really do nothing but get in that mood. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
So it's been really good, just having your music over the years, man. And but now we got to talk to get the man who pulled you in here.
Of course.
The one and only Mr. Dave G. Dave G is gonna take over from this point.
All right, that's what it is.
Yes. Mr. Tracey Lee.
What up, Dave?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. Cannot complain.
That's what's up. Yes, sir.
Keeping a roof over my head, and that's all that matters. And getting food.
That's right. So,
I guess the name of the album is Glory, right?
Yes.
And I heard an interview with you, I want to say last year, where you talked about how you got to law school.
Yeah.
You decided you were going to go to law school.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, Tracey is also a lawyer as well as an artist.
Yes.
And how those checks, you decided you were going to go to law school, but you weren't sure how you were going to pay for it. And then kind of out of the blue, you got some, royalty checks or something? And
That's right.
So I thought that would be a good place to start because it kind of led you on the path you're on now, kind of a spiritual path.
Absolutely.
To, quote unquote, glory.
Yep.
So, yeah, go ahead.
No. But you hit it right on the head, man. It wasn't just like out of nowhere I got these checks. It was really, my spiritual connection. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that I'm religious, you know what I mean? But I'm very spiritual. I'm very connected with the higher power. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to call him God or supreme being or whatever it is, it's something outside of, us as human beings, if you will. And so, I at that particular time, it was like I was in a spot of transition. Like, it was like, okay, what's my next move? And this is the thing about, being connected like that, is that you don't see that, you know what I mean, in the midst of what your passion is. My passion has always been, music and being an MC and, making records and all this kind of stuff for the world to hear me. But in that path, you are blinded by the obstacles, if you will. And so you don't encounter those obstacles unless you're going along that path that you think is the end all be all. So when I got dropped, it was like, that was the period of transition. It was like, all right, what am I going to do? So, I when a lot of times we aren't able to control situations, some of us look for a higher power. Some of us look towards God to give us direction. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I did. And lo and behold, and the thing about God is that he gives you immediate answers if you're open to receiving. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And not just putting something in the atmosphere and you don't really understand or know, where your answers are going to come from and how it's going to be, thrust upon you, if you will. And so a lot of us miss the answers. When you're putting stuff out there looking for an answer, you miss the answer because you're not open to, how it's going to come, how it's going to present itself. But I was completely open, and I received it in a way that, it was like I was down to my last, $7. You know the story.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do with this $7? You know what I mean? Like, from a humanistic standpoint, you would think, all right, I'm gonna take that $7 and either try to flip it. I don't know how you're gonna flip $7 unless you get something on consignment. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna take that $7 and go get a burger. You know what I mean? But then once that meal is over, then what? You know what I mean? So I gave it back to God, man. I went to church. Like I said, I'm not religious, but I went to church, and based upon my faith with God, man, I just put it in the plate. Like, you handle that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what to do with it. This is not the end all be all, and I can't live off of this. And I got immediate returns. You know what I mean? It wasn't like putting money in the stock market. You know what I mean? But it was like putting money in the stock market, but I wasn't really gambling like that. I got immediate returns because in a week I got a $7,000 check. And then a week after that, I got a $57,000 check from $7. Just because I gave it to God and said, you deal with it, because I can't deal with it. And I don't even know where to begin to deal with it. And so that was the beginning of my journey and giving me the answers. Not only the answer to going to law school, but the financial means to be able to go to law school and sustain the kind of living that I was kind of, the way I was living, without struggling as I embarked on this transitional moment in my life. You know what I mean?
Didn't want to go back to oodles and noodles and
Nah, I exactly.
Cooking on a hot plate.
Exactly. Exactly.
So you then went to law school.
Mm-hmm.
You studied entertainment law.
No, I studied all forms of law, but
okay.
By trade, when I got out of law school in 2006 and passed the bar in 2007, I stayed within, the zone, if you will, that I was already accustomed to, and concentrated on entertainment law. But in law school they teach you all aspects: criminal, procedural, corporation. All of that, I mean, family, so I got a working knowledge of, primarily all of them, even though I'm a little rusty, but, if you give me something, it could refresh my memory, but I concentrated on entertainment law once I passed the bar and got back out here in the real world, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you concentrated on entertainment law to assist people in basically not getting screwed.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Absolutely. Something that was not necessarily provided to me when I was an up-and-coming artist. You know what I mean? Everybody was trying to get paid. So it was really not about the interest of the artist. It was more or less, all right, let's get the deal signed and get the money over here, which I can't front. I needed the money at the time, so I didn't really do a deep dive into the inner workings of, the conversations that were had and things like that. But in hindsight, I kind of figured all that out. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So everybody's familiar with the theme, I would imagine. Talk about some of the other projects that you've done that people may not know about.
Okay, well, I did Live from the 215 while I was signing Universal. That was never released, but will be released on my website as well as my Patreon page. But we'll get into that later. But it had some prominent features. It had production by young Kanye West. It had features from Corrupt to Buckshot to Black Rob. It was over, myself and Derek D. Angeletti oversaw the project. And for those who don't know who Derek D. Angeletti is, you know, he's a part of the Hitmen, producer of the Benjamins, among other, you know, mega hit records. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had Live from the 215. I got ESQ, which is an album that I put out after, you know, I went to law school and things like that. And it was really an album to explain, you know, my disappearance and explain, you know, the trials and tribulations that went along with the whole process and me understanding what the business is all about. And then after that, that was in 2014, and in 2019, I put out another project called Expect the Unexpected, produced by O'Jiz, who is actually the producer for this project that we just put out. And when I tell you, this guy is just he's a genius, man. I'm the campaign spokesman behind this. Nobody's better to me than O'Jiz, like production wise. He could do whatever. He could do whatever sound you're looking for, and it's not even forced. He just knows music like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he produced the entire Expect the Unexpected project, which was dropped last year, and then that brings us to this project, Glory. You know what I mean?
So I guess I played a few of the cuts, and it seemed to be a pretty positive response from the other members. So
when you say pretty positive response, you got to give it to me straight, man. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean by
well,
that?
we got a bunch of jokesters in this group.
Sure.
And one of them in particular, I won't mention his name, said,
Sure.
"Man, that album is too long, man."
It's only 37 minutes.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Only 37 minutes.
That's what
But you got a 20-minute time span, but I get it. Absolutely.
But the overall response was very positive.
That's what's up.
From what I gathered. So I think you might be onto something here.
Okay.
You know,
that's what's up.
Like when I heard it the first time, you know, and I think I told you this on the call that you had for the premiere of it. You know, it wasn't being done justice by playing it through, you know, the microphone off his computer.
Absolutely.
So there's so much, you know, it's so intricate. You know, there's so much to the production. There's so much to the lyricism. You know, like I listened to it before that. For those who don't know, he had a Zoom call where he kind of premiered the album.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard it earlier in the day. And when he played it initially, the first 6 songs, it was just through the microphone on O'Jiz's computer.
That's correct.
And, you know, it just wasn't doing it justice. So I played the next 6 cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the response of everybody, because, you know, you can see everybody that's on. And, you know, because they were just, you know, kind of nodding their head a little bit, you know, for the first 6 cuts. But like, I don't remember who it was, but he put his phone down and started dancing in the living room. People were nodding their heads, jumping up and down. It was like night and day, the response.
Yeah.
Because we were able to hear, you know, what went into it, or hear better what went into it. And even as I was listening to it then, I was hearing more stuff that I didn't hear before. So there's a lot of layers to it. There's it's very intricate. So
it really is, man. It's like, and this is the thing that I've accepted, you know what I mean, as I, you know, continue to am fortunate enough to be able to not pursue my career, because I've been, you know, this is my career, but being able to have the ability to put my stamp not only in the culture but in my gift, you know what I mean? Like, I am not for the elementary cat. Like, that's just, I don't write like that. I've never been able to write like that. I'm just not him. I am the one that's gonna make you think, you know what I mean? Like, you know, because that is the makeup of my personality. That's just how I get down. Like if you don't understand something, my mom always told me, like, you don't understand something, look it up. You know what I mean? Do some research. You know, you want to know what a word means, go to the dictionary. So that's, and it's not really like, you know, I use words intentionally to lose people, because I'm not Keith Murray, you know what I mean? And shout out to Keith Murray, you know, the methodological mental. I'm not that, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna find a word that means the same thing as you saying I walked across the street, you know what I mean? That's gonna force you to look this word up to say the same thing. I walk across the street, but it speaks in a different language, you know what I mean? So that's just the way I my approach to my records. That's the way I get down, and you know, and again, I you know, unapologetically, I just, that's just how I approach my records. So there's gonna be some people that's gonna get it initially. There's gonna be some people that get it on the second go round. Some people that get it on the third go round. But you hit it on the head. It's layered. So that's where the genius of Jizz comes in with the production. And because of his production, he brings people in before they even get to what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to listen to it 3, 4, 5 times to really understand what this record is. And Jizz is the one that's the star of the show that's going to lure you in because of the production, that you may not even care what I'm saying until 3, 4 years from now. But as long as I got your attention based on the lyricism, based on the production, then I'm good and we good. So that's just the approach. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, you know, we could chop it up for, you know, a long ass time, but I don't want to take up all the time. So what we typically do is open up the floor to the other members. So I'll start with the moderators of this group. Start with Rod Flash.
Yes.
Wow. I'll be a moderator for the day, but Trey, since I'm from Philly, what part of Philly that you grew up in?
Southwest, 55th and Woodland.
Yo, we not too far from each other.
All right.
And second of all, and you say by being a lawyer, I know James Elam.
Oh yeah, that's my man. Absolutely.
I know him and his father and all that, but you become a lawyer, was it because you got screwed in your contract, or you just thought you could help other people?
It was both. It was because there were some things that I noticed later that I'd never paid attention to in the beginning. So when things started to go south and things, you know what I mean, just wasn't sitting right, it was like, all right, let me, you know, do my own due diligence, because I'm not the anxious artist, anxious rapper anymore. Just trying to get on. Like now I'm in the business. Now I'm understanding the inner workings of the business. So that is pushing me to understand and learn more about the business. And so that was one part of the driving force. And the other part of the driving force was when I signed my deal, I didn't hire a entertainment attorney. You know what I mean? Again, it goes back to my anxiety, like just wanting to get on. So I'm just looking for a lawyer. Not an entertainment lawyer, I got a corporate lawyer. He understood, you know, the basic bare bones structure of a contract, you know, offer, acceptance, consideration. This is the shit that you learn in law school. But he didn't understand the jargon of a recording contract, if you will, not thoroughly. You know what I mean? I'm sure he was trying to do some research along the line. But, you know, and the thing about it was, once I signed the deal, he disappeared. I never heard from him again. You know what I mean? So that just told me it was a get in, get out situation. He found a way to get a quick dollar. He got it and was gone. So one of the things that I wanted to do for the cats that's coming up in the game is that I am able to provide you with proper guidance. You know what I mean? At the very least, not only as an artist, but now as an attorney. You know what I mean? So now you can find comfort in talking to me about a contract Not only do I understand what the contract says, but I can tell you from a real world perspective how to deal with it as an artist. So that's what it was.
And my last question, I'm Philly. Like,
What day?
you came up in a time where everybody was like, Philly was just popping with hip hop. Like at that point,
Right.
like Breeze is my homie, Schoolie
Yep.
and all them.
Yep.
But the thing was like that joint. Like, and it's funny, I done a lot today for my 53rd birthday, and I played the theme. They still rock with it. Like,
wow.
But the question I had to ask on this new album is, do you have something on there, not saying like that or similar, but in that same realm of get you,
The theme was a lightning in a bottle situation, if I had to describe it. You know what I mean? Like, the theme was, we captured Monterey Groove, and we captured the party, and that was just the scene. Now it's different. The scene is different. I know there's people that want to, and I was just talking to somebody, recently. People want to go back to the way things were so bad. Like, this quarantine shit, it messed a lot of people up. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that don't know how to proceed forward. You know what I mean? Like, things are going to be different. That's just the way it is. And so, it's a hard adjustment for people. So I'm bringing it back to, your question. Is it going to be something like the theme on this joint? No, absolutely not. Because that's not where we are. You know what I mean? Are there records on here that you can rock out to and groove to? I think so. You know what I mean? But it's framed differently. You know what I mean? It's framed according to where we are in 2020 as opposed to 1996, 1997. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. But, it's my birthday, and I took the time.
Happy birthday, Leo. Happy birthday.
And I took the time. And another thing I like what you done, you went live with your kids.
Yes.
And said you putting out the project with your kids, and I think that was really dope.
Oh, no, man. Kids are part of my life, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make a move without my family. You know what I mean? And even more so now than ever before because of, the situation that we're in, the quarantine and all that. You know what I mean? Like, this is really, really, really put into context the importance of life. You know what I mean? Life is about my kids and my family and my wife. You know what I mean? And then anything outside of that, is secondary. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And not to say that I don't care and I ain't got love for people, because I do. But you realize there's a hierarchy to the situation. It's your family first, and then everything else follows, after that accordingly. You know what I mean? Like, the job, we need it, but that ain't tops on my list. I get another job. You know what I mean? There's other things, entertainment wise, even with basketball and baseball and all that coming back, it's good entertainment wise. That ain't really important. Like, that's it's one to look at, but that ain't important. You know what I'm saying? The importance is the immediacy is my family, and then everything else falls after that.
Exactly. That's it for me, though.
All right, that's what's up. You know what I mean?
All right, next up, my man, DJ Square Knot.
Yes, sir.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, you got it. Tracey Lee, what's up, my man?
What's good, brother? How you?
All right, man. Let me tell you. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Thank you,
and of course, we talk about the theme, and I just know that there's something else that's great coming from you. When I was talking to Dave G, I was like, yo, man, I know he got some music. Dave G was like, nope, I'm not getting it. I'm not giving it. I'm not giving it. So I was like, man, I said, I know he got something so he can listen to. I was like, nope, not yet, not yet, not yet. So whatever you told him, he kept it on lock, bro.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up.
He kept it on lock, man.
Shout out, Dave. Shout out to Dave, man. I appreciate
man. He was keeping it on lock. But I'm just really looking forward to your album, man, and looking forward to what we have, and just like I said, and him playing it, man, right out the gate, man, that Dominion. I have to tell you, soon as that track opened, man, I got this frown on my face, and I was like, you know, you just hit it. And from that, I could see as he was going through the tracks and as everything was happening, I was like, you know what? This man is definitely telling a story, and he's telling a grown-up story. You know, you're telling a story about your life, and there's spirituality behind it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's evident. It's evident there, and that's true growth, man. And so I salute you for that. You know, because a lot of us, you know, a lot of old, you know, old cats, it's good that they try to stay relevant, and they want to reach out to them today, but sometimes there's not much growth seen.
That's right.
And you definitely have that, man. So that's much appreciated, because that in itself can be one of those things that makes you an exemplar to what people are seeing in your arena. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And of course, you know, I always do my own research as well. And, you know, as the group was talking, I was like, I'm going to take it a step further. And of course, when he said, Dave D was like, yeah, man. And he's also a lawyer. And I said, what? I said, okay. I said, you know, it immediately took me back to, you know, just like, you know, one of the things back when Roxanne Shante got her thing. And she was like, you know what? In my contract, they're going to pay for my schooling all the way up to got my PhD. You, I salute you. The same deal, man, where you got out here and you got into something that is relevant to your craft. Not only that, but you got into something that where if that didn't work for you, you could fall back and really do your own thing. You know what I mean? You could be an entrepreneur. You know, you could work as a partner somewhere, and you could represent and do your job very well. And not to mention, you know, you got another brother, a black man, a strong black man that's there representing in the courts to let them know that not all of us are hanging out in the street. You get what I'm saying? So that was truly, truly good. And I started looking, I said, you know, well, okay, he's a lawyer, and I know he has a focus. And now I've heard that he has a focus on entertainment law. So I was like, okay, who did he represent? And then I was like sitting and I was digging. I was like, Eric Roberson. I was like, oh, man, that's tight. Kelly Rowland, Solange, you know, and I was like, man, you know, just to name a few. I know there are plenty others. So if there are any others, can you tell us about those?
Let's see, Young Guru, who is, if anybody, for those that don't know who Young Guru is, he's he's actually the right hand of Jay-Z. Like, he's been with Jay for the last 20 years, and we've done a few, you know, business. We've had a few business. Actually, that's my brother. I've known him since 1992. You know, I can call him right now. Like, you know, we have other business ventures together, but, you know, he trusted me with a couple of business situations that we've dealt with. We have Algebra Blessed, who's another indie artist, but she's done records with Anthony Davis. She's a fantastic writer as well. Kobe Bryant, there was a company, God rest his soul, that he was dealing with that I had the pleasure of handling a particular situation with the business that he had behind him, or should I say they had Kobe behind them in this particular venture. And those are the ones that you have not mentioned that immediately come to mind. But I'm sure there's a couple of others, but, you know, but the thing about it is I never necessarily wanted to, you know, work for a firm or have, you know, or be an attorney as a full-time thing, because at the end of the day, and like everybody on this call is, I am the culture. We are the culture. So the culture has never left, and it will never leave. And I will continue to do the things that, you know, expound upon the gifts that God gave me, which is the ability to spit, you know what I mean, in layman's terms, or in hip-hop terms, the ability to write, the ability to speak to the streets. But what we've done is we've allowed ourselves, or at least I've allowed myself, to venture off into other aspects of the business part of this, because if you're going to get into this game, you have to understand the business part of it, and you have to be able to speak the language of the business. So, we've just added that to the arsenal, not only for knowledge, but also for credibility, because there's a lot of conversations that I have with people that I wouldn't be able to have just as an MC or just as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a part of the brand, and it was never, a thing that I wanted to get locked into professionally and put down the mic. It's just something to add to the arsenal, basically.
Well, I salute you again on that, man. And the other thing I want to let you know about your current project, and I can't wait till we can get it. And what I'm gonna do is, as soon as you and I want you to make sure you share with us where we can pick it up.
Absolutely.
Because I'm definitely going to be one of your first to buy it.
That's what's up.
I know I'm quite sure you got it on sale out there, but just me in this group right here.
I got you.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna buy it for sure, man, because I love the support. But I'm gonna tell you about from track 1 to track 12. You did something with this album that, like I say, very few artists are doing now, and that is being able to put that album in and play it from front to back. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You don't have that. You don't have that too much these days, man.
Yes, sir.
You find yourself, your finger getting sore as you're playing the music riding down the street because you're skipping tracks.
Yes, sir.
Yours is a set it and forget it, as I always say. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, my brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, and that was intentional, man. It was like, and shout out to my brother O'Jez, who laid every single track on this record. Shout out to Eric Roberson, who's actually on this record. And shout out to two sisters that I wouldn't say I discovered them, because I didn't, because they was already doing their own thing. But they tantalized my ear so much that I had to bring them in to this project. And that's the sister named Quinto out of Canada and Nova Scotia, both of them, Quinto and Zamani. Shout out to them. And that's all the features that I have on this record. But it was like, that was intentional. It was like, we want to make a project that not only defines, listen, I'm a big fan of the greats. I'm a big fan of Marvin. I'm a big fan of Curtis. How you know that these are greats is because I can mention them by first name and not even mention the last name, and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of Marvin, big fan of Curtis, big fan of Stevie. You know what I mean? And these are the type of artists that are able to capture the times with their music. Not only are they geniuses and not only are they talented, but they have the ability to capture the times with their music. And so that's what I wanted to do with this particular project. And so, with capturing the time, what we also wanted to do was make it a seamless project where you're not compelled to fast forward over something. You got to hear the next joint. And then you got to hear the next joint after that. And the next joint after that. So, thank you for, I guess, receiving it the way that we intentionally tried to put it out there. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate you, man, and I ain't gonna take up no more of your time, but I just wanted to give you a big salute on that. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep us up on your endeavors, and just know we got you.
Absolutely, I appreciate you, bro.
All right, thank you, Square Knot, or Square Knot. Next up is DJ Big Dooley.
Yes.
Dooley.
Did I put him to sleep?
That's all I mean.
Okay, here I am.
What up?
Hey, how you doing, Tracey?
I'm good, brother. How you?
All right. Question.
Yes, sir.
Now that you're a lawyer, do the corporate people respect you more or less? Being that like you said, the language now, so now they can't get over on you.
Yeah. No, they definitely respect me more. And they respect me more so that they don't even want to deal with me. You know what I mean? Like, cause they know, like I'm good on both sides. So it's not like you're gonna come to me with a deal. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm probably not gonna take it. There's only one person that I would really like, honestly, and it would still have to be the right deal that I was signed with in this music game. And I'm not going to reveal that, but just because I will say this, I feel like there's some unfinished business. And so I would like to see how that would go, how that would transpire. You know what I mean? Like if we were able to hook up again. But that's the only person. Everybody else, you can't really approach me with the foolishness, like, because it's gonna be a no. Plus, the times that we're in and the way the business is different than it was 20 something years from now. You don't really got to sign with a label for what? You know what I mean? Like everything is at the touch of a button with technology, bro. You got your distribution once you put it out there in the cloud, if you will. You know what I mean? In the internet world. You know what I mean? You can get to Africa today. Back in the day, you couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So there's really no incentive to sign with a deal other than to get your face out there and to get a loan that. And I saw, shout out to Steve Stout. I saw him mention this on IG. It's the biggest ripoff in the world. It's a loan where the interest rate is crazy because they own your name, likeness, and all this other stuff once you put your name on a dotted line. So why would you want to sign away your intellectual property, right? Even if they give you $1 million, right? Unless you really know how to flip that $1 million into something else, the interest rate on that $1 million is stupid because they own everything. So there's really no incentive to really sign with a label other than to be world famous. And personally, I like my privacy. I like walking in the grocery store and not, have people know who I am and paparazzi and all that. Like, I don't want to live that kind of life. So there's really no incentive to sign with a label.
Appreciate it.
No
That's
doubt.
all I got.
All right, that's what's up.
All right, thanks, Dooley. If you didn't want to be known, you shouldn't have put out this album. I just gotta
say Look, I tell you what, I would love to. You know what? This is. If I could be known like Ali, I'd take it all day.
Okay.
And that means, Muhammad Ali was able to walk in the streets anywhere in the world, be well respected,
yeah,
and be able to maneuver how he wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll take that. Other than that, I don't want it.
I hear you. Up next, DJ Supreme, the Silent Assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta unmute yourself there, brother.
Yo, what's up, Tracey?
What up, Sue? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I don't have much to say, you know what I'm saying? My name speaks for itself, Silent.
Yeah. I can dig it. You know what I mean?
I just want to tell you, keep doing what you're doing, man. A lot of us gonna follow you that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you do in the dark come to the light. People watching you when you think we're not watching. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Just continue doing what you're doing, man, and be blessed.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, brother. And that's the way I would live my life, man. I don't know who's watching me. Like, I got an 8-year-old up-and-coming MC that is bananas, but I never knew that she was following me until she, reared herself, if you will, showed herself on my timeline. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at all the cast as my peers and all that, and that's cool. But the most important thing is I got an 8-year-old MC following me, dog, that I never knew, and that just speaks volumes of, the way I live my life. I've lived my life, in a way that an 8-year-old felt comfortable about, checking me out, seeing who I am, blah, blah, blah. And then now that's baby girl. Like I'm protecting her from this industry. She's so dope. She is so ill. And I know what she wants to do. But I'm there to be that, like we talked about earlier, I'm there to be that shield for her so that she is protected against what she's trying to get into. But it speaks to what you're talking about, man. I live my life in a way that even though I don't know who's looking at me, I have to make sure that I live my life in a certain way that whoever's looking at me, they're looking at somebody that's exemplary of what, it should be in this game. So salute to you, brother.
Amen. Peace.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Up next, Joe Storm from Baltimore.
Yes.
Gotta unmute yourself over there, brother.
My bad. What's up, brother?
All good, man. What's up with you?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm just sitting here listening to your story.
That's what's up.
Basically, brother, I've been following you since the first joint. I kind of fell off you know, as far as in the future type of stuff, man. But
Sure.
just to hear what you're doing today, man, is very empowering. The thing
Yes.
about it is, man, especially being a black man, knowledge is power. And
Yes.
the more you know, the more empowered that you are. Two
Yep.
things are most important: knowledge of self and knowledge of what's going on around you.
Facts.
So I salute you, brother, for everything that you're doing. I salute the fact that you still making music, man. And from what Dave G was playing, man, shit, your shit is dope, brother. Straight up, you know. So I respect that, man. I'm a '80s baby, man.
Yes.
I love hip hop, man, and keep doing what you're doing, man. Keeping this culture alive.
Hey man, thank you, brother. I will do my best. You know what I mean. Everything is spiritually, you know what I mean, is divine intervention and spiritually led. So I'm gonna do my part, brother. And I appreciate you. You know what I mean. Just keeping in tune and tapping into what's going on. You know, not only you know what I'm saying around you, but what's going on with me too. And I thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
And also, man, if I can drop this one thing, man, I'm gonna say this. Please, definitely empower our black brothers, man, especially
No
on
doubt.
information, because there's a lot of dudes, man, that sign these contracts and do
Yep.
these 360 deals and don't really know what
Yep.
they signing. So if you can reach, it's a each one teach one.
In fact,
You feel me?
listen, I'm with you 100% on that. But here's the deal. This is what I've encountered. Like, because I've dealt with a lot of indie artists, right?
Okay.
It's one thing to give them the knowledge, and it's another thing for them to take the knowledge, receive it, and apply it. Because they go through the same things that I went through 20-something years ago, which is the anxiety of just getting on. So you have no. Matter of fact, you know, because you don't know who the young lady is. I told this young lady, I said, because the only thing that I can do is advise you. I told her this particular contract, I wouldn't sign it. I'm just saying that's me.
Yeah.
And then she comes back to me, well, you know, they're good friends, and you know, I trust them. Da 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 da.
Right.
And okay, and she went and signed it. Lo and behold, a week later, oh, I want to get out of this contract. So it's like, but that doesn't discourage me. Don't get it twisted. It doesn't discourage me. But it's just some of the obstacles that you have to deal with. Even when you tell somebody, you give somebody the knowledge, a lot of times they're either not ready for it or they're not trying to hear it. And they're just trying to find out for themselves. And anybody that got children on here, which I'm assuming most of us, if not all of us, do, that's just how your child is. The child bumped their head a couple times before they realize, yo, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Even though we done told them 1,000 times, don't do it. They're going to try it themselves. They figure out, oh, it is. You tell them it's hot. I don't believe you, Dad. Stick your hand in there. Oh, it is hot. Okay, now I got to listen. So that's similar to, you know, a couple of things that I go through in this game. But, you know, it's all good, man. But I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Hey, salute to you, King.
Yeah, absolute. Salute to you, King. Absolutely.
Most definitely.
No doubt.
Thank you, Joe Storm. Up next, Big Said, you have something to add? A thumbs up, that's it? You're not going to say anything? Oh, he's on the phone. Okay. All right. DJ 95, I-95. You're up next.
Oh, all right. I'm still playing the theme.
Salute.
Keep your hands high. Those are my
Yes.
two go-to. All right. How was it doing Keep Your Hands High with Big?
Oh, man, listen. During that particular time, man, Big would just hit me with so many, before we even got the recording, Big would just hit me with so many jewels about the game. Like he had been in the game, you know, before I got into it, even though I was older than Big, he just had knowledge about the game from being in it since 91. So, you know, before first of all, we walked in he was in D&D Studios before I was. And that's where we recorded. Shout out to Primo. That was Premier's studio. But then Jay-Z was in there with him, you know what I mean? Because I think Mark Pitts, who's the cat that signed me, was trying to, you know, work something out with me and Jay can get on the record too, but that never materialized, of course. But Jay left shortly after that, and so me and Big is in there for like 8 hours, just, you know, chopping it up. You know what I mean? I'm soaking up everything that he's telling me, but then at the same time, you know, his writing style is the music is playing in the background all the time. And each time that he would come in and we talk, blah, 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 you just see Big black out for a minute and just, you know, just start body rolling in the corner, not saying nothing. And I'm noticing this for a couple of hours. And then after a while, I'm like, yo, Big, what you doing? Because at the time, I'm, you know, with the pen and pad. He was like, no, chill. So he kept doing the same shit. He would come in, talk, you know what I mean, drink some hen, roll up something, twist, blah, blah, blah. And then go back to doing the body roll in and out, just, you know what I mean? Come to find out, he's writing the whole time. He's writing in his head. So, you know, after he was done, he's like, I'm ready. I said, ready for what? Like, I'm ready, you know, step in the booth and spit. I was like, you gonna go off the top on this record? Like, we trying to make a record? He's like, nah, I wrote it, but I don't write it on the paper. I'm like, why? He's like, it confuses me. And I never understood that. Later on, I finally figured it out because the pad, the pen and the pad, once you write it down, you still have to convey it on the mic. So he's eliminating the pen and the paper. You know what I'm saying? He's eliminating, you know, him having to read off of the paper and then going to the mic. So basically everything is in his head. So he's going from his head, and that way he can, you know, the way that he wrote it, he can stay in the pockets. He doesn't have to, you know what I mean, go off track with it by trying to transfer from the paper to the mic. Everything is already, you know, formatted in his brain, and he's going straight to the mic with it. And I just thought at that time, now, you know, you hear about Jay and Wayne and all these other cats that don't write, but at that time, he was the first of his kind. I had never seen no shit like that. You know what I mean? And you hear the end results of that. He burned it down, crazy. And the other thing about it was, you know, he respected me because I hold him partially responsible for getting my deal. Because when I was sending my tapes to Mark, and Mark, you know, which was co-signed by D-Dot, Derek D-Dot Angeletti already, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned, it, you know, one of the Hitmen, Bad Boy producers, made records with the Benjamin, you know, made Benjamins and all that. Beside him, Big was one of the co-signers by listening to the demo and telling Mark, yo, your man is nice. So him doing the record with me was really a nod to, you know, I'm going to get on this record because your man is nice. But then also it became, in my mind, and I'm sure him too, became competitive as MCs because he tried to knock my head off, especially with that second verse. He was like, he wasn't playing around with it. So, but I attribute that to the fact that he knew I wasn't playing around either. So it's like, I gotta, you know what I mean? Like, boy ain't playing around. I'm not playing around. So I'm going to show him what it is. And so it turned out to be, you know, in my mind, a classic record, you know what I'm saying, that stood the test of time, continues to stand the test of time. And so that essentially, you know, in the abbreviated version, you know, the experience of recording that record was big, you know what I'm saying?
Besides Jay-Z, who was the other artist that you would like to work with at that time, at that period of time?
At that particular time, probably Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, you know, we talking about 96, 97, so I'm looking at Meth, you know what I mean? I'm looking at Redman. I'm looking at the upper echelon MCs. You know, everybody else, no disrespect to them, but I feel like, you know, my skill level is in that ballpark. And there's a lot of people that probably disagree with me because of the catalog. You haven't heard enough, or you haven't heard me since then. But, like, if you really know my catalog and if you really knew the type of MC that I am, it's like, you know, all due respect to everybody else out there, but this is not a game with me. Like, just, you got to listen. There's layers to what I do, you know what I'm saying? And it's not elementary at all. So, you know, those were the type of MCs that I wanted to really collaborate with at that time. Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Are there any new artists that you feel as though you could collaborate with?
Yeah. You know, Kendrick Lamar, Anderson .Paak, you know what I mean? J. Cole, the Griselda cats, just for the fact that, you know,
Mm.
they piping hot right now.
Yes,
And
yes.
I believe Benny's pen is crazy.
Yeah.
And so them cats. Even though it's one lane with them with the with the coke talk, I could tell they got a pen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like those, like anybody that got a pen, let's have it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Sword sharp sword. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
It, it's an honor and a pleasure
Nah,
to be on this
pleasure's
Zoom
mine,
call
brother.
with you, bro. I thank you
Absolutely. Yes,
and
yes.
salute.
Salute to you, bro. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Up next, Ms. Official. Ms. Official. Okay. She's not answering. So, Silent Professor, what about you?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing, boss?
Peace, peace, peace.
Hey. So, what can be said? Entertainment lawyer, rapper.
All right.
Still
Black
there?
man.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where that feedback came from, but I'm gonna say this: if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything.
Facts.
And over the years, you definitely stood the test of time, and like you said, I don't know whatever you said to Dave G, but he held true to holding on to the tracks. But when I got to listen to it for myself, I said, okay, this is where rap needs to be. Like you
That's
said,
what's up.
it's conscious thinking. You know what I mean? It's not just the average, um, I won't even put you on the level, but I'll mention it. It's not mumble rap at all.
Mm.
It's not even just the basic rap that you put out here. It's stuff that makes you actually think. And like you said, you can put it on the decks and just ride out to it.
That's what's up. Appreciate that.
So that's what I appreciate, the difference in what's being put out with you. Um, but my question is, since all of it's been said, I only got one question. When you sit down and you're writing, or maybe even you're selecting someone to collaborate with, what is that process look like for you?
Mm. Good question, man. It really varies. It varies on according to the track. It varies according to the concept, which develops from the track. And everything that I do is custom fit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I got a gang of records just floating, or lyrics just floating around, and I just attach them to whatever beat that comes along the way. It's like I really try to become one. You know what I'm saying, with the music. I really try to become not just an instrument, but also an accent, what I mean, to the entire composition. So, so all that is determining all of that is, a part of the thought process, and determines, what direction we go in with regards to the subject matter, with regards to the collaboration, and especially now that we're in COVID, like I'm not going nowhere. I tell my family, friends, you won't see me to at least spring of 2021. You know what I mean? So with that being said, a lot of stuff, I've realized, like with this particular album, there aren't any rap, MC features on there. It's all singing. You know what I mean? And I recorded all my vocals on here while, my producer slash engineer slash, Matt, cat that mastered the actual project. That's the genius of OJ's. you know, I slid everything to him after I recorded the vocals and nobody was here. So, you know, my approach now is a little different than, you know, if I wanted to get somebody, you know, on a particular record, you know, I try to call up them or their peoples, you know, if I don't have a relationship with them, and then possibly connecting with them in the studio and then kind of, you know, doing a record like that. Like I never was a fan of, you know, you sing your verses over here, then I'll sing it, but that's where we are right now. So, you know, but, you know, it's about getting the work done, you know, and then finding the, you know, upon getting the work done, listening to the track, seeing what makes sense conceptually, and then finding that person that may fit this particular project or not. You know what I mean? But you know, it all varies, man. It really varies. There's not like one set way for me to go about that process.
Man, all I can say, man, is you definitely got some talent out here. I'm like, I already know where you stand. You know what I'm saying? You already a man of God. You already a man of business. So keep both of those in the forefront. I'm already following you on Instagram, so definitely love to keep in touch. And salute to you, my brother. Keep on rocking with them projects, bro.
Oh man, appreciate you, brother. I will definitely do my best, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, SP. Up next, Swerve Hits. You're up, bro.
Trey Lee, what up?
What up? What's good?
How you doing? First and foremost, man, blessings to you, and thank you for being here.
All day, brother. All day.
You know, first time I received your record. I received your record before the stores had it up in Universal. I used to do my label runs. Yeah, so at that time, you know, like, yeah, I'll take any record. I didn't know of you. You know, wasn't on social media, whatever. But definitely every record that I received, I went home, I played everything. Listened to all the records.
Yeah.
Drop that needle on a record, the joint everywhere. I was like, okay, what's going? When it came on, I was like, oh, your record immediately went in the crate, the party crate. Went in the party crate. It definitely did its thing in the clubs, all that. And actually also you was your name was brought up tonight, you know, by somebody else that knows you very well. Maria Davis mentioned your name tonight. I was on a call with her.
Wow.
Yes.
Shout out to Maria, man. That's my man. That's first of all, that's the OG, that's Big Sis, man. And she opened a lot of doors for a lot of us, man. So
she said it. She said it. Your name was mentioned. She was like, yo, where Trey Lee at? And I got in a little chat and I said, yo, we're gonna be on a call with him tonight. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So you already know what impact you set on the industry and the people that you have met in your journey, you know, and, you know, I'm sure people still definitely to this day, you know, looking forward to your music, you know, looking forward to hear it. And from what I heard, I love it.
Thank you.
I got your last joint. Like I was just like, you know, I be going to work and, you know, vibing out, and I want to listen to the first joint. And then I seen your second joint. No, actually, I seen your second joint on social media by accident. And I don't know if it was a single or whatever, but what I heard, I liked. So I immediately went to go check for it. You had a whole project. I didn't know that.
Yes.
So I just downloaded the whole joint and I vibed out with it, you know, going to work. And I was like, yo, I like this. Then when I heard about this one, you know, from Dave G, I was like, oh, he still got it. He still got it. And the one thing that I will say this, because this used to be done back in the day, is, you know, which is cool. It's cool to deal with different producers, because I'm a producer myself, engineer as well. And, you know, that you dealing with one producer.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, you know, Marley Marl would do Kane, hold on, Biz Markie, hold on, and it'd be those type of things back in the day. And, and you did that, but I say for a producer, I guess they have to be very skillful and versatile, you know, within their music and they making of their music. So that was surprising that you dealt with one producer, and I didn't know he actually engineered the whole thing and master it.
Master.
Salute to him.
And you know, to piggyback off that, it definitely has to be a synergy there. Like, you know, it could have been that he was talented and all this other stuff, but if there's not a synergy, like, you know, because you know, even though I'm not necessarily on the beat machine, I produce the records too. So it's like you have to see my vision as well as I have to, you know, I have to trust, you know, whatever your vision is as well, you know, as the person that actually was on the beat machine, and you may have a certain direction that you want to go with the record. Like, so that we could clash in that aspect, but it just so happens that old jazz, we kind of see, you know, for 99.9% of the time we see eye to eye. Of course, you know, we not necessarily bump heads, but he may see it one way, which is dope, and I may see it another way, which is still dope, but it's just a matter of preference. But we're able to be like, all right, you know what? Let's go, let's rock with it your way. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to concede wherever I saw the record going, and just because I trust his judgment. So it all falls back to the synergy. Like, we just got that kind of synergy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's how it was. And like you said, you know, if you were to work with other people, you wouldn't want to fly, but you understand what the times and we live in now. But it's great to be in the same room and feed off each other's energy. And that's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Person I work with, we did the same thing, exactly how you said it. And it has to be trust too. There's a lot of relationship in the building of the bonds of two. And music is marriage. Your lyrics with the instrumental and your voice and everything is another instrumental over a beat.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I understand all that, man. Salute to you. I can't wait to hear more what you got. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely remember, I still actually have that record. It's, you know, Universal Record by Storm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely know what it is. I was definitely early in the industry. And somebody else is up here. Hopefully they'll call his name. You probably know him too. That's definitely been with these labels and stuff like that too. So salute to you. I'm glad to meet you. Hopefully get to meet you in person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, once all this, you know, madness falls through by the wayside, which it will, you know what I mean? We just got to wait it out. But once that happens, man, can't wait to get back out there and see people's faces and shake hands and all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
And one more thing before you go.
November 3rd.
Yeah, one more thing before you go. I know it's a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you do drops?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's easy. We got technology now where you could just do that joint on the phone and send it off. You know what I mean?
All right, cool beans. I guess we'll definitely funnel all that through Dave G or Square Knot, and we'll get all that over. And you know, and I definitely I'm bumping your joints. I bumped the last joint. I definitely like what you got coming out here. So you know what I'm saying.
Appreciate it, brother.
Salute to you. Much blessings on top of blessings on with you and your fam.
Thank you, man. Same to you and yours, brother.
All right, then.
Yes, sir.
All right, Swear. Thanks. We got a couple people that, if you got time, I don't want to take up all your time, Tracey.
No, I got a little bit of time. What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a couple people that just joined midway through. General Taylor, don't have my glasses on. General Taylor, you got something you want to say or ask? You got to unmute
yourself, brother. And we can barely see you because of your background, so you might want to disable it for us so we can see you.
All right. Hold on. Well, I don't have anything to say. I'm just listening, checking it out. That's all.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's
up. DJ Michael. Okay, that's a no. Oh, no, that's a no. What about?
I'm a little bit loud, man, but let me go downstairs.
All right.
All right. Hey, it's Tracey Lee, man. So y'all know I gotta ask him, do he do DJ drops? I gotta ask that.
Yeah. Mike, my man, before you, I told him, like, technology has afforded us to be able to do this joint as we multitask with something else. So, you know, I could do that on the phone and just send it. It's easy. It's nothing.
Yes.
So, tell me, like, you got a new joint out now?
Yes, it just went on sale, but it's not available on any streaming platforms. It's only available on my website, TraceyLeeMusic.com, and also on another platform that I've developed that gets you or gives you access and gives you a sneak peek to a lot of the behind the scenes uh, 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 a lot of behind the scenes stuff, not only with this album, but other things that we got coming down the pipeline, like unreleased music that has nothing to do with this album, and marketing plans and things like that. And that's called patreon.com/Tracey Lee Music. But the reason why we're not going to any streaming platforms is because, to be quite frank, artists don't get paid off of that, man. We get a half of 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 a penny for every stream that happens. You know what I'm saying? So it takes you like 1 million streams to get $10,000, and you don't have no control. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, the only place you can get this album is TraceyLeeMusic.com or Patreon.com/Tracey Lee Music.
I feel you on that. So, do you think like us DJs like right now? Do you think we are essential to what you do?
Do I think what?
Do you think like us DJs are essential to what you do now?
Oh, absolutely. DJs are always essential. You know what I mean? Because DJs are the gateway to a mass amount of people. You know what I mean? Like when you step in a room, you know what I mean, and you got an engagement, you know what I mean? Like there's more than just you in that room. There's going to at least be, I would venture to say, at least be one other person in there. So that's one other person that you're going to play music for that, they wouldn't normally get, or should I say, the artist wouldn't normally be able to reach, because that person is there to see you, not the artist per se. You know what I mean? Because you're the one that's on the bill. So it would behoove the artist to get the music to the DJs so they can, convey it to somebody else that you couldn't get to on a day-to-day basis. So the DJ is always and always will be essential to how music is received. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
In my opinion, you know what I mean?
All right. I see Ms. Official is back with us.
Come on in.
Ms. Official. She's still not participating.
She's on the phone.
She's doing something else. All right.
All good.
Big Body.
Did I miss anybody?
Big Body's here.
Oh, Big Body.
I'm ready, Dave G.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Big Said is now ready. Go ahead, Said.
What's up, my brother, man?
All is good. The scenery is crazy out there. You got the full moon in the back. The skies are clear. You know what I mean? Like, that looks crazy right there.
Yeah, I'm in H-Town, man.
I love it.
I got these airplanes flying over right now. I'm right by the airport.
Wow.
Just want to say salute to you. Salute to you, man. And
thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to actually just really breaking down and listening to the album, because Dave G kept that shit top secret. So I really didn't get to listen to it all the way. I was mad at him about that. But anyway, man, I just got one question, man. When you gonna come on my show, man?
Hey man, we can make that happen now, brother.
Don't listen to him, Tracy. Don't listen to him.
That's an inside joke.
That's an inside joke, man.
That's an inside joke for our group.
Where you gonna come on here?
We're gonna have to have Dave G explain that one to you there, Tracy.
Yeah, please do.
But but anyway, on a serious note, like I said, man, I like how you handling your business, and you empowered yourself, and would like to see more people do that, man. I mean, when I read up on you on Wikipedia, I was like, wow, it just blew my mind to just see how you did that, and that was just so smart on your part, man. And just keep it up, man. There's love down here in Texas, man.
Everywhere that my crew go.
Listen.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, man. You know, like people ask me, like, "Oh, don't you get tired of performing that record?" I'm like, "Hell no!" It's like if it wasn't for that record, because I know, you know, and I know why they asking me that, because it's mainly people that know me, because there's so much more to what I do, and there's so much more, you know, that I had to offer from, you know, not only from a lyrical standpoint, but from a song standpoint. But that record bust the door wide open for me. You know what I'm saying? And people still 20 some odd years later still know that record. So how can I be mad at that? Like you can't. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just by you blurting that out, it's like, yeah, that's good shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I still rock the Queen Pen joint too, bro.
Oh, what you know about that? Hold on. What you know about that? What you know about that?
Man. we recording right now. I gotta say what I gotta say offline. But yeah, it's some love, man. No doubt. There's some love down here in Texas for you, bro.
Oh man, you know, that's one of the markets, man. I felt like back then, like I didn't really tap into like I was supposed to. But every time I go down there, you know, people know. Like I'm like, damn, you know. But that's, you know, that's an offline conversation about, you know, the history of the Universal and you know how that shit went down. But it's all good.
No doubt, brother. No doubt.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did I miss anybody? I think that's everybody, right? A quick question. You didn't have any cameos from your kids this album. Why not?
I'm saving that, man. Like I'm grooming them. Like we're gonna create something crazy. So the next time you hear from them, it's gonna be bananas. You know what I mean?
All right.
But I just wanted to give y'all a little taste on the last joint. So you know, it's coming though. It's coming.
All right. Okay, Square Knot. You wanna take it from here and
yeah, I'll do that.
Get all the necessary information. And do you want to talk to him about service packs or anything like that?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
So, well, you know, we don't have to explain to you what a DJ service pack is. So anything that you have, you know, that you got your clean and your dirties, your instrumentals, acapellas, you know, get that over to us, man, and we'll definitely work something with you. We got a lot of good DJs in here who do remixes, who would gladly do them and send them over to you. All kinds of stuff, man. You know, put different spins on it. Any ideas that you may have, we'll definitely work with you on that. And then also your social media.
Yes.
Tell us about your social media.
All right. Well, you can definitely hit me up at on IG at Tracey Lee ESQ. That's TRACEY LEEESQ. You can hit me up on Twitter at TRAYLEE Trey Lee. You can hit me up, you know, if you're on Facebook. That's Tracey Lee. Period. You can hit me up on the website. Most importantly, this is the most important thing. TraceyLeeMusic.com. That's TRACEYLEE music.com.
Cool.
And then again, Patreon is a whole nother level where you get you get a peek behind the curtain, and Dave can attest to this, a peek behind the curtain of not only the process of me making music, but you know, you also have access to unreleased music that nobody else will have access to. And that's Patreon, patreon.com/Tracey Lee Music.
Well, we'll definitely do that. We will definitely check that out for sure. And we will definitely share that. Man, let me tell you, you are an inspiration, bro.
Thank you, brother.
You know, and it's good to see that, you know, you talk about that check, those checks that you got. You didn't take them. You didn't go out there and blow them on an Escalade.
Not at all.
Cadillac with tail fins.
Yeah, you didn't go out there and blow them on a
that
house.
stuff depreciates. That depreciates when you drive it off the lot.
Right. You went out there and put it to something that was going to last you a lifetime.
No
because
doubt.
You gained something that no one can ever take away from you, and that's knowledge.
That's right.
So, and that is a beautiful thing, man. And that's much respect. And you are a teacher. You are an exemplar to that. and more need to pay attention to your story and how you travel through this whole thing.
Thank you, brother.
And how you continue to do. And you got our full support, man. The DJ Information Group, like I told you, we're here, man. And we were so glad when Dave G came to us and he said, man, you know what? I know Tracey Lee, man. Let me talk to him real quick. And I was like, I said, now that is what I'm talking about, you know.
That's what's up.
And
That's
being able to connect with you, man, you know, because like everyone, I don't think you could walk up to anybody and start reciting the theme and nobody can't finish it. You know what I mean? So it's just that, you know, and that's iconic. You know what I mean? And that just tends and that's in, just think about Tracey Lee in some form or fashion is in every household in the world.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's great. You know what? And to piggyback off of that, man, I just have a conversation with my man Mark. It's DJ Mark Extreme. He's from Uganda. He's in Africa, and so he has been following me for the last 20 years. And I gave him the record, and he went on his radio show today, and he said, he said, look, if you are not starting your album off like this, don't send me anything until 2021. Don't send it to me. You know what I mean? But it speaks to, you know, the thing that I never knew is that I have reached, you know, places outside of Philly, places outside of Howard, places outside of wherever I had a direct connect. You know what I mean? And these are things that I never took for granted, and I'm very humbled, and it's just surprising and surreal to me to this day that, you know, people have been in contact, like my man that's down in Houston. Like, you know, it's just surprising to me that to this day that people still connect and still have even heard of me. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And you bring up a good point. I definitely want to make sure that they know that you are a graduate of Howard University.
Indeed.
Graduate of Howard University.
And I went to Southern University Southern University for law school. So
yep.
I'm HBCU all day. You know what I mean?
I feel you, man. So congrats to that too. Is there anything else you want us to know? And as we go into, like I say, you know, as soon as I get off this call, I'm going straight to TraceyLee.com. And I'm doing what I got to do. And, you know, we're going to get that going.
TraceyLeeMusic.com,
that's
right?
the music, man. And we're going to, you know, like I told you, as soon as the menu came in, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, just listening to the rest of it, I was just like, man, this is what I'm talking about. I can deal with this right here.
That's what's up.
You know, peace to you on that, man.
Thank you, brother. And I'm gonna make sure that I get, you know, like the cleans and all that today, so he can distribute to you guys. And hey, man, I just appreciate your support. You know, like I said, you know, the DJ is still a catalyst to me, and you guys are able to reach places that I'm not able to reach. So, you know, just by you guys saying, you know, you're supporting and you're behind it, man, that goes a long way. So I thank y'all, man.
Yes. You know, we will definitely get it going. We will be playing it everywhere.
That's what's up.
The other question I have for you, I always ask this question. You pretty much have already, in a nutshell, kind of spoken it to us a little bit, but is there any homework for us?
Nah, man, just, you know what? Here's your homework. Just at the very least, just tell one person. Just tell one person, yo, you heard that Trey Lee joint? That's it. Because it's a double up. One turns into two. You know what I mean? So at the very least, if you just tell one person that we got a project out there, is, you know, if you could take 37 minutes out of your day to listen to it, the music could do the rest of the work.
Got it.
You ain't got to do nothing else. You ain't got to say nothing else. Just give me 37 minutes of your time to listen to this album and let the record speak for itself. It's a real easy job. I tell you, I'll put it to you like this. This would be the easiest sell for anybody. I promise you. If we could just let them hear it. That's it.
You got it. Well, I'm quite sure we can make that happen easily.
You know what I mean?
So, and it don't even have to be a real big sell, because they're going to hear Tracey Lee, and then I'm going to just give them a little tad, the opening, and it's going to be done. It's going to be done. So that's all that roll with that. That's all that rolls with that. But man, I ain't gonna hold you up no longer. It's truly been a blessing, man, to have you here. And you know, bless you, my brother. You know, you can continue to do what you're doing. Like I say, we were really excited when Dave G mentioned you and the fact that he said that he could get you on here. And you know, we just started preparing right then and there. We was like, you know what? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. You know, and being able to do it, and you're still relevant, you're still powerful, and you're doing something. You're doing something to protect yourself and others who are lost in the mind when it comes to this industry. You know, you're able to shed light to them. So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. And before, you know, so I'm going to do it like this. What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square Nut again. And check this out. We have had my man Tracey Lee here. He has been dropping it. He's been telling us what's up, giving us the from way back when to the theme up to the joint now that's just super banging. You got to hear that. You get that set it and forget it mode when you get with this new joint that's coming, that's here right now. Visit his website, TraceyLee.com. Go to Patreon/Tracey Lee. Let me tell you, you will not be disappointed. He got the bangers. He has everything for you. And check it out. He's teaching the people that need to be taught about this industry. He knows what's done. He knows he's been there. He's done it. And as I always say, he has the T-shirt. So all I'm saying to you all, Tracey Lee, you the man. You're the one. Salute, my brother. And good night to you, bro.
Absolutely. Peace, peace.
Yes.
Well, yeah.